Guys, it's Malia Janae and welcome back to my channel. So y'all see by the title, we are getting into a girls talk. We are spilling the tea. we're really getting into it. So I had submitted like a poll on my Instagram and people answered some different topics and different like questions and stuff. So that's what we're going to use. I'll put them all in the notes of my phone. I'm going to try to go one by one and try not to go on a tangent because I'm an opinionated person. Like, I have a lot to say about things that are on the list. Like, I genuinely feel like I talk about these things, like I've talked about these things before. So yeah, although I am opinionated, I am open-minded as well. So if y'all disagree or if y'all do agree or have any different like ideas you know, pertaining to whatever the topic is, definitely drop it in the comments. I want to see what y'all have to say. Like, that's what this is about, like, period. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the questions. So yeah, go get y'all drinks, go get y'all chips, go get y'all cookies, cozy on up because we're about to get into it. The first topic is femininity and becoming a woman. So I feel like becoming a woman is something that most young girls rush. It seems kind of like, I mean, being a woman is amazing, but it just seems kind of like glamorized when you're a young girl. I think growing up is hard, being a woman is hard. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's a, you know, like I said, it's a good thing and it's an amazing thing to be a woman. But it's just like when you think of a woman and like what a woman stands for as a kid, that changes a lot when you become an adult. I think you have to like work really hard to be considered like a good woman. And you kind of have to make sure you have your own definition of that and not following the world's or like anybody else's, because a good woman to one person could be a wife and a mom, while to another, you know, woman, a good woman could be a successful businesswoman. And I think that's where it's hard to, like, when I say like as you get older being a woman is hard, it's really society. Like, there's so many things that make you like, you are tugged, like it's literally like tug of war. Like, if you are promiscuous, you could be a hoe to somebody, but if you're not a freak, you aren't wild enough. Or, you know what I mean? If you go out, you a hoe to somebody. If you don't go out, you're boring. Like, it's just so, it's so hard being a woman. Like, a man, from the time a man is a boy, like a child, it's just like, oh, he's a boy, boys do that, boys are dumb, boys are stupid. But a girl is literally like this. You have to sit like this, you have to talk like this, you have to do this. Why do you have your hair like that? Why are you dressed like that? It's so much, it's so much. So that is like how I feel about that. But yeah, as long as you're following your own definition of that and you are following your own, you know what a good woman is to you, you know how you want to go about that, that's what you need to do. And as far as femininity, I really think it's important as a woman to find like that kind of, I don't know, kind of like get into a feminine era, even if it's not like right now, it doesn't happen now. Kind of try to work your way into it. For me, it kind of comes naturally. I've always been girly, and my family kind of like assisted with that. Like, they made sure like I was, you know, in girly clothes and have my hair done and stuff. So it's kind of easier for, well, it's like, it's not even easy, it's almost like I never had to try to be feminine. It was just always around me. I have a lot of women in my family and they are pretty much all feminine. So I say for someone who's not feminine, definitely try to figure out what femininity looks like to you. There's a lot of people on TikTok and YouTube who like talk about femininity and a journey to be like, you know, becoming more feminine and more soft. I do think the way you present yourself is extremely important as far as that. Like, you're on Facebook, like F this B, you know, just that type of thing. I don't really think that that's feminine. I think feminine is just kind of like soft. It doesn't mean that you have to be walked over. It's just the way you go about things. Like, the way you present yourself, like the way you present your femininity is how it kind of will come into yourself as well, if that makes sense. So like if you are aggressive and loud when you present yourself, you're gonna feel like that inside, like you're gonna be that all the time in private. So I think when you are practicing femininity and becoming, you know, into more of a softer personality, make sure you're doing it on the outside, to the outside world, like the public, and then for yourself as well, because you don't want to kind of like be like tuggling back and forth. Like you want to be, you know, this is what I'm going into, this is what I'm gonna do, or whatever. And then I also think with femininity, maintenance is a big part of that. People call it self-care, but girl, getting your nails, hair, lashes, wax, all of that is maintenance. So I feel like maintenance is something that helps me feel a little bit more feminine. Like I'm feeling really good when I have everything done. So yeah, if you don't know where to start, maybe start like by trying to like do something. Most girls get their hair done anyways, so I wouldn't really say get your hair done, but like never had a facial before, go try that. Never had your nails done, or don't get your nails done often, go try that. Definitely try to see, like, you know, when you're feeling the most feminine and play off of that. So if you are feeling the most feminine while you're shopping, take yourself shopping. If you feel feminine when your nails is looking cute, like go get your nails done. Don't go by like somebody else's you know, definition of that. But I just think it is good, if you don't know where to start, to try to, like I said, look at those different people on TikTok and YouTube as some inspiration, but definitely pay attention to what makes you feel the most feminine. Yeah, and I don't really know like if femininity is like for everyone. Like maybe there are women who are supposed to be masculine and they just like can't help it. I don't really know, because I think like I don't know, do what's best for you if you are a more of a masculine girl, because I don't know. So moving on to the second topic, we have hobbies. So I think hobbies, I feel like I've never had a hobby. I enjoy creative type of things. Like I used to like make little clothes and stuff, and like bracelets and stuff like that. But like as I got older, I really didn't have a hobby. I guess my business is a hobby, but I really look at a hobby as something that doesn't pay you. You're doing it because you like want to, like you just do it for fun. So like reading, I think kind of would be like a hobby for me. But I do want to get into that because I think it's good to have something for yourself and you're not really getting a reward from it. Like if your hobby was to like do nails or something, like that's a hobby, but it pays you. So it's like your motivation to do that hobby is money, when if you had like a hobby, it's just strictly because you like to do it. So I think hobbies are fun things to like do, but it's just hard as an adult, I feel like, to find hobbies that you like, you know. I don't know. And then everybody like nowadays just want money want money. So I feel like you get into something, you gonna be trying to figure out how to make some money off of it, which, you know, hey, no shame in that. But yeah, get a hobby. And this is at myself too, because I don't have a hobby. I don't know, I'm gonna start trying to get into reading more. It's just like I have to be interested, and then if it's a book that's like slow in the beginning and it's not picking up, I'm over it. So if y'all have good books that are like thriller books or romance, whatever, something that's gonna keep me like interested, please drop it in the comments, because I need some recommendations, like literally. I wonder, would y'all call like cleaning as a hobby? Because I be cleaning, like when I don't know, I have to have motivation to clean, but when I have motivation to clean, I'm gonna clean the freak out of something. So I'm sorry y'all, just a little brief intermission. But social media could be a hobby, I guess. Like if you do reels or TikToks, like content creation, I think that's a hobby until it's paying you. And that's not a topic on here, but this is gonna be something that I add. I feel like the content creation, this led me into the next topic, but I just have to say it because I'm thinking about it. But I feel like content creation is kind of like it's a good opportunity, but it seems kind of like toxic a little bit. Like it's, I don't know, this, well, I might be canceled, but I feel like it's like you put so much time into a video, and I've been going through this myself, but like you put so much time into a video, hours of editing, like hours of watching, you know, like trying to get inspiration from like other creators, finding a trending sound, saving that sound, and then you edit this, post it, and it has like 200 views and 20 likes. It's so hard, and it's like people kind of sell a dream when it comes to content creation, and I know it's possible. Like, trust me, I have people personally who I know who have been paid from that, and like, you know, it's possible. Like, I know it is, but you kind of like are pushed this narrative like all you gotta do is post reels, post TikToks, you're gonna get brand deals, you're gonna be able to get a Skyrise in New York, you're gonna be able to get a Chanel bag, you're gonna be able to buy, like, it's just like, I know that people have done that, but people don't ever show like the obstacles of things. Like, you always are seeing somebody on the rewarding side, which is why social media is just like kind of, you know, it's bad for you, because it's a comparing thing, and once you start comparing, you're not going to be able to appreciate what you have, recognize that everybody's path is different. So like when people take social media breaks, I like completely understand, because it's just hard. Like, it's just hard. They'll have you thinking you're 22, why you ain't buy your third house yet. Like, it's just a lot that like content creators, like YouTubers, different, you know, different type of things like that just promote. And I just want y'all to like list, like, if y'all don't get nothing else from me, like, people aren't always super truthful about what they're doing for that money. People aren't truthful about like the lifestyle that they're actually living behind the camera, and they aren't showing you what it took for them to get to that point. Whether it could just be trial and error, or like failing and then winning. Like, I'm not saying that everybody is, you know, doing something super bad, but it's just like sometimes like these girls, like when they are showing all these cars and these like purses, they're getting that from like a man, or they're getting that from doing something that you may not want to do. And then it is girls that's legit. Like, it's definitely business owners, women business owners that have, you know, money from a business or money from content creation, and they buy that stuff. But that's not everybody. So take those things with a grain of salt. Be happy for that person, you know, okay, she doing her thing, like her business is booming, she able to get this for herself. But know that your journey is not that person's journey, and know that your time is your time, and God is not going to, you know, not going to like forget you. Like, if you're praying for that, you're working towards it, you're gonna get it. But just don't compare. You on that person's page like, oh my god, we're the same age and she's doing this and I'm doing that. It's okay, it's okay. We are all on a different path in life. All right, so now that that's out, moving on to the next topic, which also ties into being on a different path in life, is motherhood. So I love talking about motherhood because if y'all don't know, y'all know now, but I'm a mother. Yep, I'm a mother. My baby is 19 months this month on the 29th, so in a couple days or a week. But motherhood is super life-changing. I could like, if I could wrap it up in like 3 words, 1 would be life-changing, 2 would be difficult, and 3 would be rewarding. You kind of like are, I feel like at my age, like I got pregnant when I was 19, right? Yeah, I'm not, math was never my strong subject. I had her and got pregnant at 19, and it was like I pretty much still live, like I don't think I missed out on much, but that's neither here or there. I feel like having her at a young age, we kind of grew up together. Like, it was like trial and error, and I know it's gonna be like that when she gets older, because me and my mom are the same way. Like, my mom is like one of the girls, like for real. My mom had me when she was 20, and then like I said, I had her when I was 19, so I feel like the relationship is gonna be similar. My mom has always been like one of my best friends. I've always been able to talk to her, I've always been able to trust her. Anybody who knows me knows like the relationship I have with my mom is just like a special relationship. Like, don't take it there, because that is my girl. So yeah, I just hope me and my daughter have that same relationship. You know, like I said, being that like I was younger, I feel like I you know, it made me grow up fast. It really did. She's taught me a lot about myself, about patience, responsibility, and just, you know, putting someone else before you and putting their needs before you, like prioritizing that is like super important with the child. So I would say if you're not ready for that, or if you feel like you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially at this age. Like, I'm only 21, so somebody at my age who's like, oh, I just want to, you know, live life, prioritize myself for now, do that, because as a mother, and once you have children, that's not really gonna be an option. Like, you still can, you know, do some of the things you want to do, but it's just like that get up and go, like, oh, next week I'm going here and then I'm going here. You don't have that privilege, you know, once you have a child. So make sure when you make that decision, you know that it's permanent. And babies grow up into toddlers, and toddlers turn into kids, and kids turn into teenagers. People want kids because they have baby fever. Like, these babies grow up and they are with you forever, permanently. Like, there's no going back. So make sure it's a decision that you want to make, and if you're not, you know, wanting to do that right now, make sure you're taking like the precautions, because like I said, it's permanent. So yeah, back to the motherhood topic. So yeah, definitely don't rush into that. It's not something when I was younger, and I would hear women say like, well, I don't want no kids, or like I would meet like a woman who's like 30 plus who doesn't have kids. I'd be like, why don't she want kids? Like, you know, I thought it was just kind of like abnormal for a woman like not to want to become a mother. But listen, I don't blame nobody for that. Everybody has the right to put themselves first when they can. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't have kids, that's like one of the biggest responsibilities you could ever put on yourself. So it's like, why not travel? Why not do all of the things you want to do when you don't have kids? Like, don't rush that. Don't feel guilty about not wanting kids, and don't even really explain why if that's something you don't want to do. But for those who do choose motherhood, or are, you know, wanting motherhood in the future, it's just like, this person, like, you're responsible for this person's like everything, like whether they eat, what they are wearing, what time they go to bed, like even down to like the small details. You're just responsible. You're building this person's character. You're setting this person, and eventually setting this person out to be somebody in the world, to be a kind person in the world. Like, you have to really instill these things into a child, and I think that's what's the hardest part. You like don't realize how much kids watch you, even from babies. Like, my baby, she picks up like lip gloss or something, puts it on her lips, or like deodorant, and then puts it under her arms. I didn't really ever like pay attention to her watching me do stuff like that. But that's why you have to like kind of heal yourself and know like the type of person you are, so that you're setting a positive example. And as a woman, it's kind of more important as a, like, when you have a daughter. Obviously, if you're a single mom to a son and a daughter, or just a son, like, it still is important. But it's kind of like some things, unfortunately, you're not ever going to be able to teach him about being a man. Like, you can be a good parent, you could be an amazing mom, but there's just things about being a man that you, like, you know, may have fell short just because you don't know, and that's not your fault. But as far as like a daughter, there's so much things, like, I need my daughter to know, like, to set boundaries and to respect her body, so other people do. It's just like stuff like that you don't really think about until it's like looking you in your face. Like, my mom, you know, people who are like, oh, my mom never taught me that, or my mom never showed me that, or my mom cussed me out when I asked her about that. I don't ever want to be that for my daughter. Like, I want to be a safe place for her. I want even her friends, like, as she get older, I even want her friends to be like, oh, Mayo's mom, I could talk to her about it, or Mayo's mom, you know, she's somebody I feel comfortable going to. Like, I just really want to be that person, because a lot of girls don't have it, and it's hard out here for girls. Girls are so catty. Girls want to freaking, you know, fight more than they want to like uplift each other, and it's rare to find girls that do that. So as a mom, why would you be your daughter's first enemy? It's hard enough out here. She's gonna go to high school, and you know, whatever, she could be pretty, she could be whatever, it's gonna be somebody with a problem with her for no reason. It's just how it goes. So you doing that to your daughter, major side eye. And I hear so many stories like that, where girls are just like have hell stories about their mom, and it's just like, how could you? Like, how could you? You're like you were a black little girl before, you were a black teenager before. It's already hard. It's already so much shit that comes with it. So like, as a mom, don't be weird. Be your daughter's first best friend. That don't mean be a friend and let her not listen to you as a parent, because respect is very, very important. But understand that respect is, you know, first, but be a safe place, be a listening ear, without, you know, being a parent, a mom first. Don't always go into, why was you there, why would you do that? Be happy in the fact that she might have been honest with you about whatever she was doing. So yeah, I think motherhood, like I said, motherhood is not for everybody, but if you are, basically bottom line, if you are going to be a mother, make sure that you are dedicated to that. Make sure that you're going to do the work in yourself so that you are not coming to bringing a child into this life broken. Make sure if you need therapy, you get it. Make sure it's people that you need to forgive, you forgive them, because you don't want to get your mess on your child because you didn't heal. So if you're gonna be a mom, go heal. All right, next topic. So we covered hobbies, we covered motherhood, we covered femininity, and then our next step is business. So business for me is something that I know is going to be my, like, that's my goal. Like, I know it's not even a goal, that's my vision. I know that's gonna happen for me. Business is hard. Business is one of those other things. When I talked about social media, business is not always gonna just be blowing up in 50 sales a day and 10K in 2 days. Like, it's always not, you know, it's not always gonna give that. And it's just really going slow for me right now, and it's hard because, like, business is up and down. That's one thing I will say. When people are like, oh, you work a 9 to 5, don't do that, be an entrepreneur. One thing that the 9 to 5 is going to give you is stability. Even if you are, you know, at a point where you are getting a certain amount of sales, it's still up and down. It might not be as up and down once you finally reach a certain, like, audience, but like a 9 to 5 every 2 weeks is going to be the same paycheck, pretty much, you know. So business for me is just like kind of really going back to the drawing board and figuring out what's working and what's not, because I'm just having a hard time right now. But that's okay, because I'm gonna bounce back. I always do. But yeah, business is one of those things, like, if you're gonna do it, you have to understand, like, you have to put everything into it. Like, you have to put everything into it. Like, it's not one of those things like, oh, I'll post my business today, or I'll do this today. Everything has to be mapped out and planned out for it to be successful. And social media is 70% of, like, social media marketing and social media posts and all the different things you know use to promote it is so important that it's like it kind of forces you to become a content creator. Or you could you always could hire somebody to do that, but I will just say, once you get yourself into business, make sure you know, like, how to work different platforms. Like, what's the best time to post on Instagram, or what's working on TikTok or reels and stuff like that. Like, be able to set time to promote yourself. It's easy to, well, not really easy, but, you know, most people start with, like, finding a vendor and then creating a website, business cards, you know, stuff like that. But social media and what you post on social media and gaining followers is kind of the hardest part. It's like the bulk of the business. Like, you can have a perfect website, good products, good quality products. I've seen this happen a lot. Good quality products, stuff that people want, it is just reaching the wrong group of people, or it's not reaching enough people. So currently I'm trying to figure that out for myself. I sell vendors lists for a lot of different things, and I have a lot of helpful tips when it comes to websites and flyers and business cards and all of that. So if y'all ever have inquiries, please DM me. I feel like I'm most active on Instagram, so DM me on Instagram, because I am not a gatekeeper when it comes to certain things. The vendor list is not free, so just putting that out there. But any questions you may have, I'm here to help with that, because yeah, I'm not you know, gonna leave somebody out to dry like that. But make sure you just have a plan going into a business. Make sure that the money is not, oh, I'm talking to you. Make sure the money is not your main goal. I know that's easier said than done, because once you start making money and then you're seeing somebody in that same field making money, you know you could do it, so you're gonna go after it. And definitely let it be something that you're seeing for yourself, or that you're, like, seeking. But don't make that like, I need my business to do this so I can get money. You want your business to get exposure. You want your business to get a big or like the proper audience, you know, stuff like that. You want to have a good reputation for your business, just something good, customer service for your business. Like, let's really get into it, because I'm sick of y'all. Like, I am so sick of y'all. I have subpar, I would really say that about myself, I have subpar customer service. It's so many times I want to be like, girl, please stop talking to me. Like, I literally have to take myself, like, okay, this is a business, you know, conduct yourself a certain way, all of that, cool. But that is so important, because people are always be like, after I be so irritated with them, they be like, thank you for, you know, still answering my questions. I know I'm being annoying, you have good customer service. I'm like, okay, period, like I did what I had to do. But customer service is so important. And when you're a black owned business, and then slash small business or whatever, if it's just one or the other, whatever, people are looking for a reason to talk bad about you, and they're looking for a reason to not shop with you. Like, let's really get into it. You will see so many people talking about like on Facebook, especially, because Facebook is messy and it's draining and it's exhausting and it's just ghetto. Facebook is so ghetto. But I be having to use Facebook because I get a lot of business on Facebook, but Facebook is ghetto. Anyway, you'll see somebody so quick, like, I booked with Kiki, she ain't show up to the appointment, she won't send me my deposit back, she not texting me back. You will see somebody do that at least once a week. When you have like a good amount of followers and business owners on your feed and stuff, you will see somebody bash somebody once a week. But Walmart can follow you around the store because they are being racist. Nothing. The beauty supply store, you in the beauty supply store every other day, every week, buying lip gloss, buying earrings, they looking at you crazy because you black. You spend 30% of your paycheck at the beauty supply store buying weave, and they don't care about you. They don't know, you know what I mean? So it's just like, we gonna complain about, like, you know, the person who's doing everything themselves. Like, for me, I'm the marketer, I'm the CEO, I'm the model, I'm I'm everything. So it's just like, you gonna bash somebody who's doing everything versus a big ass business that should have it figured out by now, that are still making mistakes, because guess what, they're human and we're human. Like, that, I can't stand that. Like, if somebody do you dead wrong, I mean, if that's your thing, is to, like, you know, make posts about them, let that, you know, that's you. But I personally wouldn't really do that. They would have to do something super crazy off the wall for me to do that. If anything, I'm just gonna talk to that person, because me and you having like an issue or a bad interaction is not, I'm not gonna let that affect the next person, because that, it can work out for them. And I'm just not like like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of just bitter a little bit. Like, you wanted your $20 back and now you making a post so people don't go to this person. And then it's like, popularity have a lot to do with it. Like, let's say like this person's new to the city, or they new to their business or whatever, and you know, like, you have popularity, or you have kind of like motion amongst people in your city, and then you do something like that, you know that it's gonna affect their business. So I think it's just bitter, and it's just like, it's coming from a bad place. I don't like that. I don't like that, because y'all don't do it to white businesses, and y'all don't do it to big businesses. Like, but you pick on little old Nails by K because she didn't send you your deposit back. I just don't like that. So yeah, that went somewhere else. But yeah, when you have a business, just definitely make sure that you have a plan. Don't get caught up in like, oh, everybody's doing it because everybody's doing everything and everybody's still making money from it. Like, that's one of the things I used to say in my head. And you have to figure out how to not be like everybody. You have to see what products are selling, you know, to people that businesses don't have, excuse me, and then you could get that product and become the person who has the X, Y, and Z, has this purse or has this jacket that nobody else has. So I think that getting in that mindset of like, oh, well, they're doing this, I can't do this, never do that. Just think about all the people off the top of your head who do braids or who do ponytails. It's always more than one, because more than one people can be good at the same thing. Like, talent is all over the place. So don't sleep on yourself. Don't let popularity or lack of popularity determine like whether you're gonna make it or not, because people will support you. And that's another thing too, support isn't something that nobody owes you. And I say it all the time, and it sounds like bad, I guess, but it's just the truth. Like, people will choose to support you, and that's okay. Like, be thankful for those supporters, because they didn't have to shop with you, or they didn't have to post your picture or whatever. But like, support is one of those things. If people want to do it, they'll do it. If not, you have to continue to trust in yourself and continue to support yourself. It's nobody's job to support your business but you. You should be, you know, you worried about, you looking at, oh, this person didn't repost my thing, or this person didn't shop with me. But hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to you posting your business, or you going harder for your business, you being in the store, seeing somebody and telling them about your business. Like, nobody is guaranteed to shop with you. Like, it's just what it is. Like, people in my family, like it's probably like 3 people in my family that have shopped with me, and I thank them for that. But it's just like, I know they support me. Like, you don't have to necessarily buy something to support somebody. They want to see me win. They want to see me, you know, get to the level I want to be at. That's all the support that I need. Like, literally, I have like customers, reoccurring customers, and I mess with them, and I'm glad that they shop with me and that they choose me, because they don't have to. But don't, like, I be seeing posts like a client will become your friend quicker than your friend will become your client. But your friend want to see you win, though. Your friend is reposting your picture. Your friend is commenting and liking on your business post. That they, just because they're not shopping with you or not, you know, doing whatever service that you have, they're not getting that service. They don't have to do that. Like, no, it's no written rule that you have to do that. Like, I don't know. I just feel that way. If one of my friends start a business, I'm going to try my best to support if it's something that I'm into. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're a friend who does this thing, like, I don't know, you sell cupcakes, I have a birthday party, I'm gonna get my cupcakes from you if I like your cupcakes. You get what I'm getting at? Like, I'm not obligated, like, oh, Cupcakes by Crystal, and I know you do that, so I'm just like, okay, I'm just getting them from Crystal. Do I have to like them? Just because I'm your friend doesn't necessarily mean that I have to get it from you. But I'm gonna like your picture, I'm gonna repost your cupcake post, I'm gonna tell other people, get your cupcakes from her. But yeah, nobody's obligated to do anything for you except you. So don't get caught up in support. We're just gonna break it down. Don't get caught up in support. Don't compare yourself to what other business owners are doing. And 3, make a plan. Make a plan. I cannot emphasize it enough. And if something is working for a couple months, that does not mean it's going to keep working forever. Trends are come and go so quick that you have to be able to be on top of it, and then even more be ahead of it. Like, figure out, like, okay, this is what was happening in like the summer season, let me try to think what's going to be the fall, and be the first person to have it, because people will recognize that. So you have to stay on trends. You kind of, like, social media presence is very, very important. Like, start putting yourself out there a little bit more before you start your business, just so people kind of get familiar with you and with your look and stuff. You know, like, if you have a certain aesthetic to like your Instagram or something, and that's going to match your business, that presence that you have on your Instagram is important, because it's going to portray, like, people go like, oh, I'll mess with his style, or I like her style, so they're going to be looking for similar pieces from you for your brand. So that is kind of, hold on, okay, so yeah, that's kind of important to do. Like, you don't want to be like a person who's been ghost for a year and you just pop up with a business. You kind of want to be slowly get more engaged with your followers, maybe go live, stuff like that. It's just social media, just use it as much as you can, because there's an endless amount of money that comes with social media. And do it with, everything you have. That leads me to the next topic, which is passions. When you have like a vision, and if you're religious, prayer and God behind your business and a passion for your business, is no way it's gonna fail. It may be slow, it may be fail and then succeed, eventually, but trust the process and trust the fact that you didn't start this for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, you are still seeking after, what you want. And that's okay. Like, we're all on a different journey. So when you are, getting discouraged, not really knowing what to do next, you have to trust that you started this for a reason. And your passions don't always turn into dollars. So maybe your business isn't even supposed to be something that's going to be like, that 6-figure business. Like, maybe your passion is ministry, or maybe your passion is helping out in your community. Like, don't let a passion always turn into a business, because that's what I said before. You have to have a vision for something first before money. Like, money is gonna come, and of course we need money to live off of, but people can kind of recognize when you're that type of person, and it's never a good look. It's never a good look when everything you do is about money. Everything, like, is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So let passion drive you, let vision drive you, and move with a purpose. But I just think setting out, like, you know, setting your purpose to be money and to make profit, especially in like the first year of your business, like y'all can do research on businesses in the first 2 years. That's not really like likely that that's gonna happen. Like you probably will make money, and I know there are different people, like a lot of people y'all see who have, you know, businesses who, or like clothing lines and stuff like that, who make a lot of money in the beginning. They probably already had a platform. You have like 100K followers on Instagram, and you drop a business, is likely gonna do better than the average person. So passion is not something that everybody has either. You have, sometimes people get passions and an idea mixed up. Like you can have an idea for a great business, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that's your passion. Passion is something that burns inside of you. You wake up, eat, sleep, shit, whatever that thing is, and you can't get it out of your head. You can't shake it. No matter how far you go away from it, you feel yourself always drawn back to that. That is passion. Not something like another get rich quick, like what can I do to make money, what's another business I can start to make money. No, passion is something that's just burning in you, and you can't stop thinking about it. You can't, that's why I know, like, when it's real and when your business is really about a passion, the money like literally doesn't matter. Like you be happy when you have a sale and stuff, you know, or multiple sales, but you feel like happy that people are like, oh, she sells this, go shop with her. It's like, oh, y'all recognize me, like, and it don't be about the money. It's just like y'all really messing with me. It's just like, you know, support, like just engaging with people and getting new customers and stuff. Like, yeah, you have to lead with that kind of stuff, because it builds, not builds your character, but it shows your character in a better light than just somebody who's just doing something, you know. And people, like I said, people could see that. Genuine people could see that about you. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna take this into a new gear. We talked about like the serious, well, this is serious too, but we talked about, like, you know, business and motherhood and life and all of that. Next, what we're gonna talk about is relationships, because y'all had a couple questions about the relationships. And I'm married. I've been in a relationship for 5 years in August, and then been married for 2 years as of January. So I feel like I have good relationship advice. We are young, so I mean, it's not like we've experienced like a lot of stuff, but I feel like the things that we have experienced have gave me good insight and good advice to give to someone else. So first icky sticky question is, why do women cheat? So I feel like women cheat. There's no, first of all, let me back up. First of all, there's no straight answer to this, because women have a lot of, not even women, people have a lot of different reasons for doing different things, and everybody's situation is different. So this is just generally speaking. This does not mean that this is all women. This doesn't mean this is all situations. But I feel like most of the time when women cheat, they have mentally been gone from the relationship already, and their body is just there. Like their mind is gone, their heart is gone, but they just are physically still with that person. So I think it takes women a lot more to cheat. Like men, like, could go out and see a girl with a big booty, or not even, or a cute face, or an ugly face, and be wanting to, you know. So it doesn't really take much for men to cheat. That's why I think it's kind of harder on men when women do cheat, or their girlfriend or wife cheats, because it's just kind of like more expected from men, which means the bar is in hell, and nobody should expect that from each other if you are in a committed relationship anyway. But, you know, unfortunately it is a double standard, and it's just more common for a man to cheat. So yeah, I feel like women, like, it takes a lot out of a woman to like do something like that. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes it could be out of spite. Like if he cheated on her, she couldn't get over it, then she cheated. Or I feel like if she has been asking you for something, you know, emotionally or romantically, hasn't been receiving it, or you promised her you would stop doing something, stop texting girls, or you would start taking her out more, or you would start being, you know, like just different stuff like that. And it's not an excuse. It's not right at all. I'm just answering the question as to like why I think it happens. Like I think women are just super emotional creatures, and when a man, like, I feel like if you have, like, the grass is never greener too, but like I feel like in a lot of movies, like you have like you've been asking a man to do something, and then the side dude comes in and kind of looks like he is gonna be what you've been wanting, so you cheat, and it really is not gonna work out. The side dude was never gonna be your forever. He was just kind of, you were naive, and you were like emotional because you wasn't getting what you were needing from your relationship, so it looked like it was gold and it was just glitter. So yeah, I think that's normally what it is. Like, you are, you know, just looking for your Mr. Right in the wrong person, and it ends up in cheating, and it sucks. It really does. I think too, like, if y'all kind of like the out of spite thing, but kind of not, like if you kind of start to know that like he's talking to other people or he is cheating on you, then it can make you like just start to do it as well. And I don't know if that's really out of spite, because like maybe it's not even hurting you. Maybe it's just like, oh, okay, that's what we on, so that's what I'm on type thing, like a more of a nonchalant, not really like, oh, F him, like I'm about to go F him because he did this to me and he was effing her. Like, it don't always be like that. It could just be like, he's not committed, you're not committed. So it's just a lot of different reasons. But I don't think it's easy for a woman to cheat. I don't think a woman goes out at the club and just like staring at a dude like, ooh, I'm gonna leave with him. Like, dudes do that, like they do that. So yeah, I think if you are a dude who, and that's not every girl, because I mean it probably is girls. I don't never met a girl like that personally, but I know it's girls out there who are just who are like that. Like, they see a dude and they cheat, or they just always cheat on their dude or boyfriend or whatever. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's just like, I feel like for most of the time it's just like, you know, something that's a little bit more thought out, something that has more emotion behind it. So yeah, that's what I would say about why women cheat. And then the next question I had was taking your significant other back after they cheat. So that's a hard pill to swallow for either party, boy or girl. And I don't think anybody is wrong or right for deciding if they're gonna stay or if they're gonna leave. You have to do what works best for you. Me personally, I think that it's something I could get over. It just kind of depends on the context of their relationship. Like, if y'all was like going grocery shopping together and freaking planning trips and all that, I don't think that's something I could get over, because y'all were boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, versus just like, oh, I'm sorry we had sex, you know, let you know, like, you know, being honest with you and open about it with you, like it was just sex, then I don't know. But you have to, like, when you're somebody who decides to take somebody back after that, you have to decide 100% in your heart and mind that you are going to forgive that person fully. That doesn't mean that you forgive them, like you thought about it, you forgave them in your head or whatever, and then you still treat them like shit, or you still bring it up every time you get mad. That's not forgiving anybody. Forgiving is, you know, your heart heals from it, you start to heal from what that person did. And that don't mean forget it, that don't mean that the trust has to be 100% again, because you have to build that back up. But you let time go on. This person has been like, you know, been what they're supposed to be, not made the same mistake twice, hasn't done any type of red flag behavior, and you're still treating them like you did whenever you found out about that. I don't think that you should have agreed to, you know, take them back, because it's not fair to you, because you are having that, you know, thought in your mind, or you're having like suspicions about them because you can't get over what they did. And it's not fair to them because you let them on to thinking that it was gonna be, you know, y'all was gonna work on it, you was gonna forgive them, and it's not that. So taking somebody back after cheating isn't the end of the world, but I just feel like you have to be a strong person to do that, and you have to know 100%, 1000% that you are going to be able to forgive them. And if you have doubts that you can't forgive them and you thought you did, I think to just continue to let them know, like, I'm not for sure, I thought I was sure. There's nothing wrong with that. We people, our minds change, you know, our feelings change. So just don't lead them on to thinking like all is good when it's not. So yeah, that's kind of something that is situational for each person, is different depending on like what you feel about that, or like what type of partner you were to that person and how they did that, you know, how what they did affected you. So that's hard. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like I could do it if it was strictly sex. But I think that I have always been blessed to have a good group of friends. I've had the same 3 best friends since 8th and 9th grade. Well, not 8th and 9th grade, maybe like 9th and 10th grade. So I've always like really valued friendships, and I've always just had a solid group of friends. Like they come over my family's house, and it's like, you know, my family is their family, and same for the other way around. Like we've always just been all cool. We haven't really ever fell out. Like we had small disagreements amongst our group, and then I had one friend that I've like had for a while that I stopped being friends with. But other than that, it's just like I feel like I've had a solid friend group. And I know it's hard for girls to find genuine girls, and I hate that for y'all, because it's just like you need, you know, a support system. You need people who have common interests and different interests to give you different perspective, people to kind of just like bounce off of. Like that's important. And I think if you are a type of person who like has issues or struggles to find friends, maybe try looking in different places. Like if you kind of put yourself out there a little bit more, even though it may be uncomfortable, you might draw in the right people versus the type of people, you know, you drew in before, temporary friends. And my second piece of advice, don't always look for friends that are doing the same thing as you. Like if you are an entrepreneur, that don't mean you have to have all entrepreneur friends. Or if you are Christian, well, no, if you're Christian, you probably, you know, kind of try to be in the like-minded group of Christianity when it comes to that. So disregard that. But if you are, I don't know, if you are a person who doesn't have kids, try to, you know, get insight on people who do have kids. Maybe having friends who have kids might be beneficial to you. Don't get caught up in just like, oh, I don't do this, I don't need friends that do that, because it really works opposite. You want to have friends that bring different things to you, and some of the same, you know, some similarities, but you don't need a twin as your friend. Like get somebody else to do it. I think friendships are hard though. Like you know, some people are like more of like a clingy type of friend, some are like a little bit more of a distance type of friend. Like I'm here if you need me, but we don't need to talk every day. And that's me. Like I don't really talk to anybody every day. Like I talk to my man every day because that's my man, and I talk to my friends like when I need to tell them something or they need to talk to me about something. But I don't know, I've just never been that type of person, and I'm not the type of person who needs people around me all the time. I know there's people who are like that, like they're happiest when they're around people, or like they thrive off like, oh, I gotta go here, I'm gonna bring my friend with me. I go a lot of places by myself, and I've always been like that. Like I never had a clingy group of friends, so I'm cool with doing things by myself. Of course I, you know, do enjoy being social and do enjoy doing stuff with my friends as well, but I don't have a problem doing things by myself. By myself every day. Like but yeah, so I feel like, and I was like, when I moved to Georgia, I met another great group of girls. So it's just like I got blessed twice for real, and it's like not common that happens. Like I still, you know, like my best friends from home, like from Ohio, like them is my best friends like for life. Like I love them like my sisters. It's just crazy too how we can still stay connected, and our life is just like, you know, still evolving. And then I was able to, the fact that I was able to make new friends, like moving to a different place, like it's crazy. But I don't know, I just think friendships are just one of those things that's like you have to, you have to be the kind of like the friend that you're looking for from people. So also too, if you find yourself falling out with people or fighting with your friends or your best friends all the time, take a step back and like see what you could fix, or see if that person's even good for you anymore. Sometimes friendships could be just as draining as relationships. Like you don't want a friend that's every day you got to worry about what y'all finna be arguing about, like it's your man or something. Like don't do that. Like, you know, don't get yourself into that type of friendship, because it won't benefit you. And if you know, have had friends and you fell out, and then you kind of like are down about that, because I've been through that like in middle school. Like friends, those type of friends who are constantly falling out with you aren't probably meant to be in your life anyway, and you don't need that around you. Like you're better off without that in the first place. Friend breakups like suck like bad, because you know, you trusted this person, y'all had created memories together just like a relationship. But you know, you will find your group again, you'll find a better group. Or if it's just one person, like that's okay too. Quality over quantity. Like I said, the people who want 50 million people around them all day, something actually happen, maybe one of them is actually gonna be there for you or check on you. So a small group has always been my preference, because we are able to be more close knit, and I know that the girls got me, like got my back for sure, like for real. So yeah, I think that when you are in, you know, in a certain type of like, I don't know, certain type of like area in your life, you want friends that are able to match up with that, or are able to understand that when you may be changing as a person. Like, friendships don't stay the same, just like any other relationship. It's constantly changing, so make sure you have friends to adapt to that. In most friendships, like, you know, a big friendship that's in the limelight, like that people was going crazy about on TikTok, was Ari and Jada. And that was somebody's question that I had too as well. They was asking about Ari and Jada. So they was I don't know, my whole thing is the show was turned against them real bad, especially against Jada. Like, Jada has always been like in the limelight. It's kind of like a sweet girl, a sweet, chill, like cool girl, and I feel like Ari is like more rowdy, more like says what comes to mind, like just kind of more like pop off type. And so I think to kind of put the narrative like that she isn't like that, they kind of just put it all on my girl. Like, and y'all see yeah, so that should tell y'all what y'all need to know whose side I'm on, because this is definitely Jada Waiter, because like, not too much on my girl. Like, I hated that show and how they did her. Like, and I think the best thing she could have did was not return for the second season, because it wasn't good for her. Like, it was not good for her image. I don't know. I think that like sometimes, like, she's a Libra and I'm a Libra, so I feel like sometimes we are misunderstood. And like, people have told me before, like, I play innocent. I just don't think that that's true. I think it's just like we just misunderstood, and I think that's how the show was too. Like, it just really gave like certain clips that just looked bad on her part. And Ari, it was like some of the things that they were arguing about was just so stupid that it never really would have mattered. Like, I don't know, I just did not like how that whole thing went. And I think like they just was just making a narrative that wasn't true. Like, when they like I said, when it was like, oh, she playing innocent, she doing that, like, no, it's not giving that. And I met Jada in person. She's sweet. That's bestie. It's like, no. But I think the type of personality that people have, they look for in a celebrity. And I think oftentimes like people is kind of a little bit, Ari is a little bit more relatable. I think Jada kind of grew up like a little bit more silver spoon, like spoiled. She's kind of more bratty, where Ari is kind of like, she had like they both had to come up, but like Ari was kind of from like a, you know, probably like a rough neighborhood, being that she's from Chicago. So I think some people are able to relate to that a little bit more. And I think Ari can come off a little bit more authentic as well because of that. So when I seen like all the arguments on TikTok, it was just like, I don't know, I feel like it's really not fair to talk about something that we don't know about. And those are producers. Their job is to make the show look more interesting. Their job is to show like the parts that people are gonna want to see. Like, that's what it is. So, you know, keep that in mind when y'all see these shows, especially reality TV. They're just gonna do that. Like, they're just gonna do that. Yeah, so keep that in mind. And last thing I would say about this topic too is, when you are in the same industry as somebody, try to, like, you know, bury it in a hatchet. And even if y'all not besties, like, try to still make money together. Like, them is some of the, those, not even some, them is the two biggest influencers right now. Y'all could be running shit. Like, y'all could be running shit. She got Wait a Minute, she got Remedy, like, or is it Rimmed? I don't know what it's called. I think it's Remedy by Ari. Yeah. So I think like if she was to do, like, let's say Wait a Minute had a photo shoot and then they use Ari's makeup products and then y'all promote each other, like, y'all probably got some of the similar followers, but you know, you never know what that could bring for y'all. So I think it kind of stuck when two girls are in the same industry, making money, doing literally the exact same thing. Y'all both moms, y'all both business women, y'all both have dated people in the industry, and y'all both influencers. Like, come on now, like, they really could do a lot together. And that's what stuck to me the most. Like, I obviously, like, I never seen them as having like this super goals type of friendship, but I could just see them both being on this platform. Like, y'all can make so much money together. Like, I would even fake it till we make it, because we finna just get it back. Like, that part blew me up about them. But yeah, I just feel like I don't know, it's just like a personality thing for me. Like, all right, Jada is just somebody like I kind of like reside with. I've always like looked up to her as a businesswoman and as an influencer, so I'm kind of biased, but it's definitely giving way to men. Drop if y'all was feeling, who y'all was feeling like as far as the argument, Jada, Ari, Wait a Minute, like which Jada, Wada, which one was y'all feeling like? Let me know. But yeah, y'all, that was all of the topics I had to discuss with y'all. So I thank y'all so much for watching this video. Make sure y'all leave a comment, a like, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like, what are you doing? If you haven't, go subscribe. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. See y'all next time.